Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Now and Xen Podcast. Today, we have Lamplight. Hello, Lamplight, and welcome. We are so glad to have you.
Hello, this is Lamplight. Thank you for having me.
Yes, you're so welcome. So, Lamplight, I gather you've had quite a long history with conlangs. So, I'd love to
Yeah,
hear how you first got interested in those and where that has led you over time.
okay. Well, first of all, I have some kinds of synesthesia, which means that when I hear language sounds, they have like colors, textures, or even emotions. So, for example, the L sound, la 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 sound, feels green. So I naturally map concepts onto sounds, and this has grown into an entire language called Shasavic. And the other languages that I created are versions of it. For example, Lisotopia is a simplified and regularized version of Shasavic for like studying grammar and translation. So what I want to say is that it wasn't like, okay, I'm going to make a language, but rather they've always existed naturally with me and they're part of my life.
Wow, I never knew about the synesthesia thing. I think it explains how some of the microtonal conlang. I have a little bit of synesthesia as well. Maybe not as much with colors, but I think sometimes with certain keys, I hear certain
Hmm.
colors, but I don't think it's because. I don't know if it's really because of anything innate. I think it was because when I was a kid, I was taught that letters were certain colors, and so then I
Oh,
associate
yeah.
those letters with each other. And so then if I kind of hear the key of B, I'll think of it as yellow, but it's not
Hmm.
because it sounds that yellow to me. It's more because I'm thinking of the letter B, and I was taught that it was yellow when I was a kid. Um,
Oh, I see.
and I learned that other people have these associations as well too. I also have somewhat of a taste association. If some music is played and it's really vibrant, I might taste certain food.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but it's not very it's remarkably inconsistent, but if the music is really zen harmonic, I'm more likely to taste something than if it's in 12 tone equal temperament, which is something I've heard before.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I suppose that says something about the novelty of the situation. In your microtonal conlang, then, do the colors that relate to the dimensionalities, how do those
Yeah,
match up with your synesthesia, if at all?
yeah. For example, the major third, 5/4, sounds green to me. So, yeah, green is, L. So, yeah, that's why I call the major third Li in Shasavic.
Green, right, is Li.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So then, what are the other dimensional, what sounds are the other dimensional colors associated with?
Ah, okay. The second dimension, uh, 3/2, is some kind of a red, I think, and the third dimension, 5/4, is green, and the fourth dimension, 7/4, is purple, and 11, the fifth dimension, 11/4 or 8, uh, I see it like yellowish color. Yeah.
You can see that in Lamplight's microtonal conlang video, where it's explained
Hmm.
from a pedagogical perspective through visuals and oral sort of cues and things like that.
Hmm.
I think that the color palette you have in the videos is quite distinctive, and I think maybe if uh, somebody else made those colors, that the colors might be like really on the rainbow and it might be really easy to see what they are, but some of your colors
Yeah,
seem to
yeah.
be a little bit in between. Like your 3/2 color is a little bit, it's sort of red and it's sort of pink and it's not really either one. When you see those colors, do you think of them as sorts of in between colors? Have they always been with you?
Yeah, the 3/2 color, pink or red color, is the, yeah, exact color that I see. So yeah.
Wow. Did you have to take a long time to kind of figure out that that was the color that appeared in your head, or was it like pretty much instantaneous that you knew that that was what the color was, and you just had to find like the right shades to replicate it?
Yeah, it's very instinctive for me. So yeah, that was very quick.
How do you feel about the extensions that people have made, taking the limits farther and farther? For example, I've made a song for the Staff Circ group that uses Shastavistic notation for the first time, but it's in
Mhm.
37 tone equal temperament instead of 41. So I used some chord makers to do that, and I noticed that some of the ambitious ones add sort of a brownish yellow color. It's hard to describe. It's like a brown with a tinge of yellow for 13. So I didn't know if those colors had been informed by your synesthesia, or perhaps if it's several independent agents just kind of coming up with it.
Yeah, it's very interesting, but actually, I don't see higher dimension. So these five colors are the only colors that I see.
So really, those higher dimensional ones, people can kind of just do what they want with them because they're not your thing.
Yeah, that's right.
That's really good to know. I think that will kind of inform how I might use those symbols going forward. I use the 13 limit symbol a lot because there are 13 limit thirds in 37 tet that were nice to express in a way that was quick and didn't have very many lines. How did you first get interested in microtonality initially?
Okay, well, I always felt like there had to be sounds in between the keys. And I thought that just like I can create an original language, I could also create an original scale using something between the keys. So it had been on my bucket list for a long time. But, it felt like such a tough idea. I thought it would take like 10 years. So, yeah, I kept putting it off. But about 3 or 4 years ago, while talking with someone about microtonality, I started a little sample phrases to explain what microtonality is. And before I knew it, I'd gone much deeper into it, and I felt like I found something that could be another life work besides conlangs. So, yeah, that's how I got started with it.
Wow, that's awesome. So when you first tried realizing scales, did you do everything on the computer, or did you try using any musical instruments? I don't know if you play any musical instruments.
Yeah, I always do it on my computer, so yeah, never play on instruments.
How long have you been making music then?
I've been making music for about 20 years. I started when I was a child, so it's been a big part of my life. But I spend most of the time working without microtones. But, the tuning system is not everything. So working with limited 12 notes with good practice for expression. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel the same way. As a microtonalist, you get people who kind of walk up to you and they're like, "Oh, you must hate 12 tone equal temperament." And it's like, "No, that's really not it at all." I had seen some of your videos where you had made music sort of in a different era, and it's interesting to see how things have evolved, and your music practice is definitely so definitively detailed that it seems like it must have taken several years to get to that point
Yeah.
because you are responsible for essentially everything, like in the microtonal conlang video, right? So you're creating the music, the language, the video elements, and editing it all together yourself. Like you are a one-person team.
Yeah, I enjoy everything. Yeah.
Wow. That's just, there are people who have all those skills, but it's so rare to have all of that under the work of one person and also have it be the high quality level that you've sort of
Mhm.
delivered to everyone freely. It's a very kind offering. So I think on behalf of all of us, we thank you immensely.
Nice.
How long did it take you to create microtonal conlang? That whole video. I'm thinking it took longer than something like Xeni, right? Zeni? Maybe I'm saying it
It's
right.
called Yizhen, like Yizhen, maybe.
Yizhen.
For Yizhen, I took maybe 2 months, I guess. Yeah. So for explanation videos, for each explanation video, I take maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah, because I see that you have some explanation videos and snippets here and there, and then other ones that are a little bit longer, like the microtonal conlang video.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So, I'm also really curious about your workflow since you're doing things on the computer. So,
Yeah.
how do you keep track of your own chord progressions? I think every microtonalist has a different way of doing this, or different ways that you could synthesize together and draw from. I use a variety of ways, and those help from various angles. You're sitting down and you've got 41 tet ready to go. How are you like, oh, this is the such and such, this is the so-and-so?
I'd like to show you. So, can I share my screen?
Yes, that sounds wonderful.
Okay, before we begin, let me introduce some terms I use. So, for now, let's go through 2 of them. The first one is dimension. The nth dimension is harmony based on the nth prime harmonic. So, the second harmonic is 1D, the third harmonic is 2D, the fifth harmonic is 3D, and so on.
Yes.
Okay, the second term is kinship. When you factor a number into primes, count the all prime factors except for 2. For example, 18 is 2 times 3 times 3. So, and we ignore the 2. So, yeah, it counts as 2 kin. Yeah. The lower the number, the more related they are.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So for the workflow, first I choose the dimension, then the chord progression, and then melody. I never start from a scale because a scale is automatically created from the chord progression. And when creating chords, first I play them on Halasata, microtonal web app that I created. Yeah, you can see a lot of cells. And
Yes.
yeah, in the default settings, the horizontal nodes are 2D nodes. So if you move one cell to the right, it goes up by a perfect fifth. Yeah, or perfect fifth, or the third harmonic. And you can also open the chord diagram panel. So it looks like this. Yeah. And the vertical nodes are 3D nodes. So if you move one cell up, it goes up by a major third or fifth harmonic. Yeah. And you see some names here. Like he, li. And each one is called a harmononym, which is a Shasavistic note name. And if you combine them like ahili, it's called a chordonym. And you can use it in any dimension. For details, you can watch this video, How to Name Pitches, Harmononyms, Chordonyms.
in creating my own Shasvavistic song and thinking about how to generate the chord symbols, it didn't occur to me that the web app that you created would also create those shapes. But in retrospect, it seems painfully obvious that it would do that. And the way that you have the layout placed as well, where a horizontal axis represents one dimension, while the vertical represents another. It's not only something that, in my mind, informs your composition style and what I've seen you write, but it's also something that's been present in your other videos as well. In fact, I think I've watched that exact video that you described with the harmonyms and chordonyms, and I'm thinking of a grid that you have there that accomplishes this. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yes. I think there's some microtonalists too that would call the idea of writing using two different dimensions a subgroup. So they might list off the primes that they are allowed to use and then just take some away. I'm wondering, I've seen you write with styles where you have a dimension that's on the x-axis and one on the y-axis, and I assume that the x-axis dimension is generally the 3 limit.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if there's a chance that you'll ever try writing music where the x-axis isn't the 3 limit, but something else, like the 3 limit is gone, or if that's not part of your style at all.
Yeah, that's not my style, but yeah, it would be interesting. And I I often do I often change the y-axis. So like for 4D, it sounds like this. And yeah, you can play it like this. Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah. And also for 5D, it sounds like. Yeah. So, okay, I will show you when I use the 5D chords, 5D progression. So, can I show it more?
Yes, absolutely. Very
Okay,
excited to see anything, hear anything you've got to show us.
okay, thank you. So, my favorite chord is Ahishifut. It sounds like this. And yeah, let's use basic progression this time. So, 2D descent, and one more time, and then go back. So the chord progression sounds like this. And the notation using chord diagrams looks like this. Two D descent, 2D descent. Yeah,
I see. Yes. So the chords are they're descending by 3/2 each time, and on the graph you can
yeah,
see that.
yeah, that's right. And you can see like chord diagrams here. So you can see they're the same. I will input them into my DAW. So, okay. Actually, this is tuned to 41 Edo, but I'll explain more about it later.
Sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'm doing this by my ear, but you can also do it by counting the Edo steps, like 24,
Yeah.
12, and 12. So, yeah.
Right. And I think when I'm in a DAW like that and I do it, I also will count the distances using musical intervals that I know. So like I know that 24 is 2 octaves like on the piano roll, so then I count it that way.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
useful.
Oh, yeah, and the okay, and so then if you have 12 at the top of that chord and 12 again, that makes sense
Yeah,
because there's a neutral third there, and that's
yes,
dividing.
right.
Yeah, that's dividing that top portion of the 3/2 Okay, so you take
Yeah,
that, you drag it down, and then you get this kind of chord progression.
yeah, it's correct.
Right.
This one is so these three notes, one, two, three. So one, two, three. These three notes are these ones.
Right.
Yeah,
So that's interesting, I think, because a lot of the chords that you could get out of maybe the top 3 or 4 or so notes of a chord by themselves may seem unsupported in the way that you create the music. For example, like that chord sounds kind of like a G neutral chord by itself in between major and
yeah,
minor. But if you add a C on bottom, you get a full chord that sounds supported because it has, the 5 dimensional sort of idea in it. If that's is that
yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right. Let's raise it by an octave. Okay, so it sounds like this. Okay, so I copied the chord, so let's do a little arrangement. I'm not just doing this randomly. I'm using notes that are already here or the same notes in a different octave.
Yes, I heard
Yeah.
that as you were moving it around.
Yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
I see that on that last chord, you have included 1 over 1 and 3 over 2 of the first chord, and those naturally
Yeah.
create some neutral relationships, or some Pythagorean relationships with that
Yeah,
chord.
that's right.
And
Yeah.
I feel like by watching you do that, we've learned so much more about how your style operates than anyone could ever say. For those of you just listening in and not watching the video portion, we are in a DAW, and Lamplight just took these 3 chords that they came up with and extrapolated a whole series of arpeggiated notes and then copied and pasted them and dragged some around in some interesting ways to get what we have here. The chords have the same quality. It's what we explained earlier. It's like a chord based on 1 over 1, 3 over 2, 11 over 6, and 9 over 8. And then that's transposed to the 4 over 3, and then the 16 over 9, respectively, for 3 different chords.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In the bottom part, I see that you're dragging something down. I can't quite read it, sadly, but it looks like you're dragging that down because there's an echo that's inherent in the sound that would kind of pedal it over to the next chord. And are you wanting to separate those echoes, essentially, so that each chord rings by itself?
So this one, this chord is the first chord. So in lattice, it looks like this, and the
Right.
bottom note is ah. And the second one is full.
Yeah.
And the last one is so the bottom note is shu, and yeah, and I enabled the sustain pedal, so it sounds like this. Yeah, so the chord progression is basically the same.
Yes, I see. I think it occurs to me that on that very last chord, the 5D note, or the 11 limit note, could be a little bit different from what it is in 41 tone equal temperament. But 41 tone equal temperament would make it, I guess, like an A half flat if the first note was C, which is interesting to think about as well. Do you think about the differences between 41 tone equal temperament and what you're doing a lot, or is it really kind of a secondary concern, not really something you think about?
Basically the same, but if I use 4180, I can use some commas like rastma. The intervals rastma is the same note in 4180. So yeah, it would be convenient sometimes.
Right. So
Yeah.
you prefer 41 because of the convenience of equal temperament, and then there's also maybe some commas that are tempered out that you would like.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Right.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to arrive on 41 tone equal temperament as your tuning of choice? What was the process for picking that like?
I will explain it later. And okay, let me show you some how to make a melody first.
Yes.
Okay, the scale is created from the chord progression. So this time we can use this, this, and this. So
Ah.
yeah, these 8 notes. For if I say it as harmonims, uh, the he, she, fu, shu, fuz, shuz, and zhuz. And it sounds like this. I'm gonna go back. Yeah, it sounds like a neutral scale, but yeah, it has another an extra note here.
Yes, the flat 7 is extra.
Yeah.
Right. Very good. So you used your web app then to highlight an entire scale that was composed of the sum of all of the notes that exist in the 3-chord progression that you created.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sometimes when there are too many notes, it sometimes go wrong. So yeah, this sounds goes wrong.
Oh, I see.
Oh, yeah, it's fixed.
Right, so it was like the 11/6 or the 5D note over the 2nd chord was competing for space with your melody notes.
Yeah, but the tuning problem is like uh, it's sometimes because of the like uh, when I use Intonal Studio on Logic Pro, it sometimes go off. So when it occurs, I reset the audio setting. Yeah, so yeah, it sometimes happens.
So I wanted to ask you about this as well. Is Intonal Studio a VST plugin essentially that gives you piano sounds?
For Intonal Studio, I use this piano sound, and I use Intonal Studio as a plugin, tuning plugin. And yeah, it's very useful, but it's sometimes a little bit buggy. So in that case, I separate the track. and move some notes here. Okay, it sounds better.
This is it. This is the makings of a classic Lamplight progression. Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And yeah. Okay, this note is ah, 1/1.
Yes.
This note is she, 9/8. And this one is Schultz, 11/9. This one is Fu, 4/3. And the last one is he, 3/2. You can see that most of the notes are 2D because 2D is the core and the 5D is the flavor. So yeah, this is the only 5D note.
Ah, right. So when you're building that melody, the sort of initial thought you have is the proportion of notes that are really within the chords in its fifths to sort of the
Yeah.
flavor notes that are the 5D notes.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, I want to add more 5D. So in this melody, we can use three notes, three 5D notes, Foots, Schutz, and Schutz. So Foots is 11/6, Schutz is 11/9, and Schutz is 44/27. So let's make very short notes like this. Okay, this one is Foots, 11/6, and this one is Schutz, 11/9, and this one is Schutz, 44/27. So yeah, I used these three notes, and it sounds like this. Yeah. So these very short notes makes the phrase better.
Yeah, it gives it kind of an expressive feeling. And then
Yeah.
those short notes can also potentially they can also afford to be 5D notes a little bit more as well, because since they're short, you don't hear their intonation as much, but they're really flavorful.
Yeah. Let's add some vibrato. And double it. raise it by an octave.
Ah,
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it sounds like this. Yeah, so this is how I make songs. Yeah.
wow. Thank you for giving us a window into your process. When you're
Yeah.
writing, then, do you have Logic open with your synths, and then you also have the web app open to the side as well to check?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, okay. And then I also see that you have Adobe Illustrator there, but that I
Yeah.
think maybe is mostly for my benefit, right? You're showing me things
Yeah.
today that are
Mhm.
there on the diagram, but you might not actually use it when you're writing.
Yeah, maybe I use my tablet and sometimes Illustrator.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Would you use it for anything besides video editing?
I use Adobe After Effects for video editing, but
Ah,
yeah, for example, I create assets like chord diagrams in Illustrator, like this, and yeah, and then import them into After Effects.
I see.
Yeah, I also like analyze my own music while making videos, so yeah, it often makes me discover something.
You strike me as a person who likes to use the fifths in a chord to create like a real sense of rootedness. I wonder if you would ever. You say you don't compose with the scale first, which also makes sense because you've got um
Yeah.
you've got some videos, for example, where you line up some like tonic, subdominant, and dominant chords with whatever intonations they have, and then you line up the notes, and then the scale is uneven. And I
Yeah.
wonder if, like, if you had an 8 note scale, like in this situation, if you would ever take the notes that are supposed to be on the same scale degree and purposely put them next to each other. For example, like the 16/9 from your last chord, like moving that in the melody to the 11/6 of the first chord. If that's something you would ever intentionally do, or if you just avoid that.
Actually, I'm not originally a theory person, so yeah, so working by intuition feels more natural to me. So
Yes,
yeah,
that makes
uh,
sense. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. To work by intuition, you need something to imitate. So for the microtonality I aim for, had to create them myself. So yeah, I built them up theoretically to train my ear. And now, for the most part, I don't even need to think about it. My ear just does it.
Right.
Yeah.
Are there any characteristics of your melodies that you value above others that you would like your melodies to have?
Yeah. The point is, yeah, the 2D notes. So I think that's all for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I use 2D notes a lot.
right.
Yeah.
Would you say your Shostavistic chord diagrams, I don't know if that's the name that you give to it, that's kind of what I've been calling it. Um, are those influenced by any other previous shapes, lattices, things like that?
Actually, they're based on the same idea for like lattices, but I wouldn't say I created the chord diagrams directly from lattices. Um, the chord diagrams are actually from trying to make the notes in my DAW more visually understandable. So yeah, I actually like I was tired of connecting pitches with brackets and writing things like 7/4
Right.
or yeah. 11/9.
Oh, I see.
So, yeah, so I started to connect the pitch lines with various colors or shapes. So,
Ah,
yeah, so that's how I came up with the chord diagrams.
wow, it really, I suppose it evolved really organically from what you had been doing already then. It wasn't kind of a thought out construction that was separate
Yeah.
from that. Does that mean that you were using Adobe Illustrator to draw things, and then at some point you were just like, hey, I don't have to write these in. I can kind of use these colors here.
Yeah. No, I use chord diagrams, but in my brain. So yeah, most of the time I don't need to use applications. I use my ear.
Right.
Yeah.
How many languages do you speak? I'd be very curious.
Actually, my native language is Japanese, and um, English is my second language. And I also study Chinese and Korean a little bit, but yeah, not very fluent.
Right.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
but yeah, I love languages.
Yeah. Is there a kind of microtonal music you really enjoy listening to?
Actually, uh, both the Shasavic language and Shasavic music have mostly grown within my own world, so like without much exposure to other conlangs or microtonal music. So I've been listening to more microtonal music after uploading Gattafata than before. But for example, among the tracks by like Sevish, the artist who launched this podcast, my favorite is Horizons.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
Sort of late Sevish, right.
I know that the track Gleam is very popular, but I like how Horizons uses 5D spices on like exotic 3D chords.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
And thankfully, a lot of people have started exploring microtonal music, Shasavic music, influenced by my works. So I listen to them a lot. So can I introduce some of them?
Yes, I think that would be wonderful.
Okay. There are so many that it's hard to list them all, but if I focus on electronic tracks that people who like Gattafata or Yizin might enjoy, for example, this one. The first one is Slosha by Einrail. Slosha means for the first time in Shasavic. So yeah, this is a very well composed 4D music. This is the only microtonal track by Einrail, but the other tracks are all stylish. So yeah, I'm excited to see what's next. And the second one is Delfinos Delphis by Monotone Triangle. He has released several microtonal tracks, and this one is my favorite. Yeah, he experiments with various Idos across different genres, and yeah, they're really interesting. Yeah, the last one is Serre Cosmique by Tachy Bunker featuring Nakai Misohito. Yeah, Tachy is a unique microtonal artist who enjoys like super high dimensional harmonies, and this track can be described as 6D music. Yeah, the first half shows an influence from Misohito, and the second half reflects Tachy's style more. Yeah, there are many more artists making interesting tracks, such as like Hiruryu and Hojo Minori. And
Yes.
Yeah, and some are even developing Shasavik DAW. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to future developments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be really interesting if the Shostavistic chord diagrams could integrate into the DAW and be there as a part of it as a plugin. That would be really cool. I think the machinery could potentially already be there in some sense, but I'm not a computer person, so I don't know how hard the code is to adapt to whatever you're doing in there.
Mhm.
I think there was one more question I wanted to address with you, and I'm very grateful that you showed me how you create everything from the ground up. It's a lot to take in. I'm wondering how you reached the conclusion that you'd like to work with 41 tone equal temperament, and that's sort of your main tuning.
I thought about it a lot. At first, I was listening to every Edo from one by ear, and yeah, but it quickly became clear that it was not efficient. So I created a table of Edos. Yeah, a table of Edos in Halasata. Each number shows the error or the difference between the Edo note and the just intonation note. And when you hover the pointer here, it plays the interval. This is a perfect fifth in 12 Edo and just intonation. Yeah, so this is the difference. And 12 Edo is like very handy because it's the smallest usable Edo for 2D and 3D. Or 24 Edo, a double of 12. It works well for 5D, but not for 4D. And 36 Edo is good for 4D, but not for 5D. And yeah, when we look at 31 Edo, it seems like a reasonable compromise for microtonality, but I needed better approximation in 2D. So yeah, that's the chord dimension in Shasavik music. And if I scroll down the table, 41 Edo seemed fine in like every dimension. 3D approximation is not perfect, but I actually want to try um, explore 4D and 5D. So yeah, so it was convenient. And even 3D approximation in 41 Edo is like still much better than 12 Edo. So yeah, so the point is that I need good approximation in 2D plus 4D and 5D. So yeah, 41 Edo is the smallest acceptable option for me.
Yeah, that makes sense. The equal temperament builder that you're showing here, that's the one in the microtonal conlang video, and it appears,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think, right before you start to explain all the consonants with image of a person like moving their mouth and doing that,
Yeah,
if I recall correctly.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. You say you were hunting this down to aid in the creation of Shastavistic music, and I'd love to explore that term a little bit with you as well. Does Shastavistic music, does it imply a particular aesthetic to you, or is it mostly about the construction, or both?
For Shasovistic's theory is it's um, more like yeah the structure itself or how to make chords.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's not based on the Western chords like major, minor, like sub major, sub minor, neutral. It's always it's always filled with the dimension parts like this. Shastrovistic theory is it's about how to create chords and progressions. Yeah.
I see. So really, it's more about the attitude of coming at the music when you create it in a Shastrovistic way, and not really about how it sounds in the end. Although, probably if somebody were creating Shastrovistic music, if they were sounding like what you're doing, since you have a whole world that you created, they probably would associate that more with Shastrovistic music.
Yeah, that's right.
Are there EDOs that you would consider exploring above 41 if you ever wanted to explore a higher one? Or are you mainly interested in sticking with 41?
The higher the Edo, the harder you have to control. So yeah, 41 Edo is useful for me, so I'm not going to go higher. So I like 41 Edo for now.
Neat. It's good stuff. I
Yeah.
love it.
Let me show you some vocal processing.
Sure.
I use Melodyne for vocal processing. Okay, here's the sample audio. And if you straighten the vocal, and set glide to 0, you can
Right.
get an autotune like effect. Yeah, and yeah, okay, let's make the scale that we just used. And you can select 41 Edo here, 41. But yeah, this time let's try just intonation for practice.
I noticed that when you used Melodyne there, you typed in an equal temperament number, and I use Melodyne too, and I guess I haven't figured out how to do that because when I do it, I go to a window that has a bunch of pre-selected files, but I just have a bunch of
Mhm.
files in all the EDOs, and so then I just click the one I need.
Oh, okay.
So that's you singing the major scale right there, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Very cool.
And yeah, let's make it neutral-ish. So the scale was this. These eight notes. So yeah, the first one is ah, 1/1, and the second one is she, 9/8. The third one is Schutz, 11/9. 11/9. Double click it. The fourth one is full, 4/3. The fifth one is he, 3/2. The sixth one is Jules, 44/27. Oh, it's hard to click it.
Is that because it's has a relatively complex kin?
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Right. So what are you actually doing on the left-hand side of the screen when you're dragging and clicking the notes? I actually have never done that in Melodyne before. I've always used an equal temperament grid.
Oh, okay, I'm just like matching the pitch on the melodyne and the pitches on Kalasanta. So yeah, and you can also see the cent value here. So yeah, that would be a big hint.
Yes. I
Yeah.
see. Now in this next portion, since you're getting the sixth note or so, I'm really interested to
Yeah,
see what you'll choose for note 7, whether you'll choose the 16 over 9 or 11 over 6.
it's about 44 over 27. So yeah, to me it sounds in tune. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The seventh one is shu, 16 over 9. And the eighth one is foods, 11 over 6. And we need one more note, so let's split it. Okay, so this is the scale. Yeah, so this is very useful.
I see you created this file so that we can see how it works with putting your voice in and using Melodyne. But I'm wondering
Yeah,
if you created this for demonstrative purposes or if when you're working, you have this as a scale and then you chop it up somehow to use it in your work, or if you sing each part individually.
at first I sing like, yeah, first I sing and I do it, uh, I process the vocal precisely after it. Yeah, so yeah, I actually do this process after singing.
Yes, I see. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you ever use untuned vocals where you sing and match the notes but you don't melodyne it afterwards, or is it always melodyned afterwards?
It's always melody afterwards.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That makes sense. Yeah. And I think actually lots of people will use the autotune effect you described as well. Like I think that's how, in my mind at least, that's how people get an autotuned effect a lot of times if they're not using an autotune plugin. And Melodyne just does a really good job with that too.
yeah.
Yeah, neat. Well, I don't have very many other questions. So thanks for showing me everything. I really appreciate it. It was really fun to gain some insight into your process here. Before I leave, I just wanted to mention one really silly thing, which is like in Xen. Okay,
Yeah,
so in that, like it's written in 41 tone equal temperament, and
yeah,
I transcribed it using the notation. And when I did it, since you also said, "Oh, this could be done in 24," I
yeah.
also the notation systems they work with each other. So I did it in such a way that if you read it and assume that it's in 24 instead, you still get the right notes, which is wild to me. And some tuning systems won't allow that with music notation. But there's another part of me that thought, I wonder what would happen if it was played in 17. Like it probably would sound a lot rougher, but it would be really interesting to hear how far everything moves from what it's originally supposed to be.
Yeah. It works in some Edos, like even in 5 Edo. So yeah, that will be interesting to try in other Edos.
Yeah, that definitely would be a good experiment. I wonder if I could get my software to do it, potentially. So, who knows? Oh, I guess the other thing I should ask is if you want to promote anything at the end of the podcast episode, like tell people where to go, where to check you out online, your music and things like that.
Okay, if you search for Lamplight space microtones, you will find my channel. So yeah, that's all.
Okay, on YouTube.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. And you've also got this, of course, amazing website and everything. And I'm sure visitors to YouTube, if you check the description, you'll be able to find this material as well. And I'll have it linked in the description. Fantastic. Well, I guess I will see you then. Thanks a bunch. I really, really appreciate it so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been really fun talking with you.
Yes. It's been fun talking with you as well. Well, I'll see you later then.
Yeah. See you later.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The music you're hearing is Microtonal Conlang by Lamplight. If you enjoy what you hear on the podcast, you can leave a review on iTunes and spread the word through social media. Pretty please. We appreciate all our supporters on Patreon, our Xen Harmonic patrons, as well as our Xen Harmonic gods. Peter Young, Jundai Bates, Kobashigawa, Naren Rattan, Matthew Sheeran, Hector McGuffin, Leland O. Weigel, Amy Coleman, Jill Weigel, and Tina Harmon Carto. Thank you so much. Remember, if you're not already doing so, you can support the podcast on Patreon. The lowest tier is only $5 a month, and you get to support a great cause, promoting microtonal music in all its delightful forms. Link is in the description. You also get access to behind-the-scenes information on many of Stephen Weigel's microtonal projects, such as numerous transcriptions, covers, or other surprises. And bonus episodes as well! Did you know that Now in Zen actually has somewhere around 115 episodes? That's right, there's lots of bonus episodes that you're missing if you're not part of the Patreon account. A little bit goes a long way, and if you support, you get to be a factor in committing to musical uniqueness and diversity at the table of ideas. I cover songs and get to transcriptions based on patron requests often. 2 songs I'm covering soon that are patron requests are Fly Me to the Moon and Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Thanks for listening, and catch you next time on Now in Zen. This episode was released early for patrons of the Now in Zen account. The music you're listening to, Microtonal Conlang, has also been transcribed on the Stephen Weigel YouTube channel, and the patron account released a PDF that you can download if you are a supporter.